The ultimate goal of the terrorists and the Islamist extremists is to force Sharia law on all of us, with all of its horrific statements about women, about gays, and just about how to live your life. But there's a creeping Sharia law that is going on, using the financial power of the Islamist world. And Obama paid no attention to it, but Trump needs to focus in on it. Every big bank in the world that seeks money from the Muslim community has to establish a Sharia-compliant fund within their operations, where every penny that goes into that fund will only be used for things that are compliant with Sharia law. So they can't be used for pork or pornography or for any of the stuff that's banned under Sharia law. And there is a board set up within each of those funds to decide what is compliant and what's not. For example, any money that's invested in the defense industry that ever has anything to do with Israel cannot receive Sharia-compliant funds. And the board, which consists of imams and some really radical types, can fine any of the banks that use these funds for non-compliant purposes, and the money goes to terrorist organizations, allegedly as a charity. And these funds have to donate a certain percentage of their assets every year to these terrorist organizations, again under the guise of charities. This has to be stopped. The amount of Sharia-compliant funds now is in the trillions of dollars, and it exerts a very subtle but very important control over commerce and over everything else that goes on in the world. What Trump needs to do is to order that any bank that is supported by the Federal Reserve Board, or whose deposits are guaranteed by FDIC, or is regulated by the Fed, cannot have a Sharia-compliant fund. It cannot have a separate fund dedicated to making loans that are compliant with the laws of any particular religion. Would apply to kosher funds or anything like that. It's an important step, it's a vital step, and it's one that really needs to be taken. To understand more about this, go to the Center for Security Policy. Frank Gaffney, the former Undersecretary of Defense, has taken the lead in this, and it's a very important thing.